William Wallace.
Gotta be a little tall enough.
The Almighty says this must be a fashionable fight. It's drawn the finest people. Where is thy salute?
For presenting yourselves on this battlefield,
I give you thanks. This is our army. To join it, you give homage.
I give homage to Scotland. And if this is your army, why does it go?
We didn't come here to fight for them.
Oh, the English are too many.
No kidding.
Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace.
William Wallace is 7 feet tall.
All right, enough with this crap. So, yes, everyone, welcome to a new podcast. Finally! Yeah, today we're going to talk about one of the, of course, this movie that everybody, every YouTuber, everybody's talking about. Also, these two Americans that I saw yesterday. My name is Director F. Mobin. I'm a beginning movie director. I'm busy with making my movie, and the first movie, about the real William Wallace and the true story about William Wallace. How are you doing today? Yeah, it's very late here. I don't care. I'm still awake. This podcast, as I'm telling you, is about Braveheart. Why I call Braveheart the worst movie ever. There are many reasons for it. I'm going to tell you everything, what you need to know, also about my movie, The Rise of William Wallace. I'm going to tell here, real history and the history underground. Those are the two Americans that were also talking yesterday about how Braveheart butchered the Scottish history. Yeah, no shit! Mel Gibson did that. And that's why he's a fucking retard and an idiot. I hate this guy. I don't say, well, I don't love this guy, but, if you don't know who Mel Gibson is, I'm going to tell you so. Let's begin with the podcast. I hope you have questions for me, and I also like to answer and appreciate, of course, also to talk and answer questions about my new movie. So first, let's go talk into the movie and who William Wallace truly really was. At first, if you don't know who Mel Gibson is a director and an actor who's from Australia, who lives in New York, probably, I don't know, but okay. In 1995, when I was born, I am 30 years old. I was born on the 30th of September, 1995. The movie itself came before, I don't know which, it was in the summer when it was released. I saw the movie last year in my friend's house. And I know William Wallace, as I'm also going to tell in my interview, where I know this guy from. I know him from my game Age of Empires 2. You can see it here. I show you all the pictures. So, the first time that I heard about William Wallace was in this game. But he was looked, of course, he had a beard. He had a kilt. Okay, he had this long sword. I fell in love with this guy. I thought, who the hell is this guy? His name even sounds badass, William Wallace. That sounds badass. And WW. Yeah. So, in 1995, Mel Gibson decided to make a movie about him. Together with this guy called Randall Wallace. I never heard about him, but he has the same last name as Wallace. So, in an interview that I heard, I watched, of course, 3-4 times behind the scenes of Braveheart. He was telling that he was in Scotland and he was looking at this famous great statue of Wallace himself. I think it was in Aberdeen or somewhere else. And then he came to the guard and he asked him, who is that big man over there, the big statue? And the guard replied in Scottish, that's a great hero. That's Wallace, William Wallace. So he was explaining, of course, the guard that, my name is Randall Wallace, my last name, blah, blah, blah. And so they came, of course, with the idea to make their own fantasy fairy bullshit fairy tale to make a so-called fantasy warrior in Highlander kilts, which is fucking ridiculous. If you're looking at the image here, if you're looking at the picture of William Wallace, well, I don't have to tell you that this looks totally wrong. Even my friend of mine, who I know lives in the city, who doesn't know about this movie and this guy, he even said himself that this looks nothing like that movie. So even this guy, one of my friends who I know from a friend, even said the same thing. And he never saw this movie. He doesn't know what it is. And also the title Braveheart is also wrong. A friend of mine who I know, his name is Chris, he also saw the movie, but he always thought that William Wallace looked at what Mel Gibson portrayed. But when I saw him, he also said, yeah, he had to shed a beard. He had to have a beard. But I showed him the real William Wallace, as you can see him here, the knight and the man with a beard and less short hair than Mel Gibson had. And he so thought, well, Farhad, you're right. That's not William Wallace and I saw Mel Gibson. Of course not. It's fucking bullshit. It's a fucking fantasy fairy tale that he and this guy called Wallace, Randall, have created. It's some kind of a fantasy bullshit fairy tale about this Highlander warrior. His father was a farmer. Fuck this shit, man. That's not true. That's all bullshit. So I'm going to tell you now who the real William Wallace was. And then I'm going back to Braveheart and, of course, my movie. So first, getting thirsty. Here you can see Wallace, or William Wallace, was a knight and a patriot, and of course, a legendary hero. But he himself was a knight, and of course, he had a beard, he had less short hair, medium short hair, and he was born in the village of Elderslie, which they believed that he was born there. In 1270, he was born from his father called Alan, not Malcolm. Alan Wallace. And his mother, Margaret Crawford. You can see the picture here. That's his mom. At a young age, it was believed that Wallace had learned military skills from his father. He was probably a mercenary in the English army. I don't know anything. Well, I don't believe that's true. But I believe that Wallace had learned skills from a very young age. He learned how to fight because his father was a knight. He was from the noble, medium or noble class. And not a farmer. So, now I know. In 1291, which many people don't know, and I don't understand why they don't even, why even in the documentaries that I, of course, watched about him, never told about his first act of Wallace. Only Scotland History Tours, that guy, maybe you can see him, that dreadlock Scottish guy, he told that Wallace was also a beer thief. I can find nothing about that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe what he's saying, I don't know. I believe he's right, but I can find nothing. But let's go back to 1291. In the year 1291, Wallace was have killed a young man called Selby, who was the son of the English governor in the city of Dundee. Dundee is the city is still in Scotland, and he was there in December, so next month, to kill the man. I'm also going to draw those scenes. Who was the son of the English governor. After that, there was also a fishing incident, which you can see here. Wallace, it was, which year was it? Well, let me see, hold on. Yeah, 1292. So after the year that he killed the man, they called the son Selby, legend has it and around, I'm reading even on Wikipedia, that in 1292, Sir William Wallace was involved in an incident which he killed 2 or 3 out of 5 English soldiers. I've made an illustration. I made the first scenes about it. You can see it here. We're attempting to catch his catch of fish at the Buckering Bush to mark a spot. So, after that, Wallace was then well known as a troublemaker, but he wasn't an outlaw or a most wanted man. But everything changes in 1296. He was ambushing a castle, which I'm very busy with. Also, I showed you in my YouTube video. You can see it. The Ardrossan Castle was the castle which he was his first victory, not at Stirling Bridge. So I don't understand why Scottish people don't know this. I know it myself. I'm not a Scottish person. I know this from internet that says that Wallace, his first victory was at the Ardrossan Castle, in which he burned and killed many, of course, English soldiers, and later becomes his Wallace Larder. I don't really understand why they call this a weird name, but it says that Wallace, the ghost of William Wallace, is wandering there through stormy nights. I don't believe this, but maybe. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know. But let's get back to where we were. So in 1296, he also he killed the sheriff of Lanark. It was 1297. I'm sorry, 1297. He killed the sheriff of Lanark. As you can see here, the movie scenes that I made. William Heserick was his name, was the sheriff of Lanark, and Wallace killed him in his bedroom, in his fortress. I couldn't find any pictures on Google, so I had to create these scenes, how it should have looked like. So I created all the scenes that I have, as you can see here. Wallace killing English soldiers, taking them out, some kind of a stealth. Yeah, Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, assassin. He was an assassin. So after that, Wallace finally fought at the Stirling Bridge, which in the movie wasn't anywhere. The strange thing is, my friends, that at the production, that an Irishman was asking Mr. Mel Gibson, where's the bridge? He said, then make a joke. He made a joke. The bridge got in the way. Like the Americans, what I told you that he's their YouTube account, History and Underground. They interviewed one of the production workers, and he said it was too difficult to make the Stirling Bridge. Well, I don't understand. Mel Gibson had a larger budget. So, I don't understand. If you have enough money to make a Hollywood movie, as I would do, why the fuck can you not make a bridge? Come on, man. You have so many actors, so many dressed up stuntmen, horses. Why you can't make a bridge? So that means Mel Gibson is a fucking amateur. Come on, man. Ridley Scott even can make a bridge. Or can even let the water being floated in Gladiator 2. Gore Verbinski from Pirates of the Caribbean can make ships that go through or even floated into water in the studio. Come on, man. What the fuck is this bullshit? So it means that Mel Gibson is a poorly Hollywood director. Come on. If you even want to make a bridge battle, then make it as a bridge and not an open field where guys killing each other. As it showed in the movie. Every YouTuber is talking about, but they forgot so many things. They forgot that Wallace had a beard. They don't see it in other YouTube movies. He had less medium short hair. Look at the statue. Open your fucking eyes. And look at the details. He wore a knight outfit. He had a horn. Come on, man. Why am the only guy who's watching at the statues only recognize those things and no other fucking guys or people? Come on. Look at this fucking statue. I'm showing you. Come on. Look at it. You can see it yourself. These people didn't make the statues of him that, they didn't know how you look like. Come on. So, all right. Let's go back to where we were. The man who also created the story of William Wallace was the Scottish minstrel and poet Blind Harry. For those who doesn't know who Blind Harry was, Blind Harry was a Scottish minstrel and poet who lived in the 15th century, who made the story of the Wallace. He described Wallace, as you can see here in this book, he described Wallace as a strong giant man with strong legs and arms, broad shoulders and legs. Of course. He had darker hair, darker eyes. He had brown eyes and brown hair and a beard. And also he had this weird helmet with a dragon. But I'm going to tell you this. Did you know that I also didn't know? I also searched it up on the internet. I don't know if you know this guy, Tony Robinson, who I follow also on YouTube, who's from BBC. He told in his documentary that Wallace, his last name, is from Welsh and also Old Norman. His name in Old French means foreigner, which his name in Welsh or Welsh from Wales means Wallace or Wallace. So it has been found, history as the historians have found out, or DNA, that his grandparents were from immigrants from Wales who later moved to Scotland during the 11th or 12th century. 11th or 10th century. So so Wallace is part or was part Welsh, not only Scottish. He was known as of course, he was a giant of a man who stood, as you heard it, 6 or 7 feet tall, and he had a long, giant claymore sword. Look at this guy! Look at this thing, man! It's so fucking heavy. Even I can, if I'm gonna take it, I can hold it. It's so fucking heavy. But you can see it. His thing is so heavy that, this was his real sword. Then in Braveheart, they made this a fake sword. It looks great, but it looks more like the sword of Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings. Come on. That's not William Wallace. That's not the Wallace sword that is hanging in the museum at the Stirling Castle, which is also his great statue, my favorite statue of him I love. So, about the movie itself. The timelines are wrong. The movie, many characters are missing, like Andrew de Moray, who was a very important character and commander who fought with William Wallace at the Stirling Bridge. Robert Wishart, who was the bishop in the time, also didn't appear, who was a great supporter of Wallace. His wife, that they changed her name because they thought, what I read it on Google, which is bullshit, to avoid any mistakenly with the movie Robin Hood, was also made in one of these years with Kevin Costner, Prince of Thieves. They wanted to avoid that she would be called like Marion in Robin Hood, which is fucking ridiculous. Her name in the movie is Maron McLuhan. That's not what her name was. Her name was Marion Braidfoot. But did you know also this? That she didn't existed. She was a fictional character created by Blind Harry. It sounds very ridiculous and stupid, my friends. But believe me, she didn't exist. You think, what the fuck? What? Huh? Yeah, she didn't exist. I'm going to tell you. Blind Harry created a so-called woman to believe, or it was saying at the documentary that I also watched yesterday of an American, that one of the noblemen or noble family he knew had chosen his name or so created this female character for Wallace to believe what he was really fighting for. So the story of the Sheriff of Lanark also is not true. Wallace probably fought for another reasons that made him triggered that finally grow up his uprising with Andrew de Moray to go fighting the English. So that's the true story and the true fact. So Blind Harry himself also created some kind of nonsense or fictional character that didn't exist. So Marion, his wife, didn't never exist. It really sounds stupid, my friends, but that's what I also wrote on internet, and these documentary guy people also told that. So now you know. Back to the movie. First, what I think about the outfits are, if you're looking at the Scottish Army, I really hate the Scottish Army. What I seen in the movie, they look like in Age of Empires, where this guy is saying, "We Scottish have a rabble of untrained soldiers." They look just like that. I mean, look at yourself at this picture. Look at these soldiers in the movie. What the fuck is this? A bunch of guys with spears and little shields? Come on, man. What the fuck is this, man? That's not a medieval army. That's a bunch of, poor guys who have no witness with any weapons, so look like, those unravel trained soldiers from Age of Empires. From the introduction. What the fuck am I watching at? When I saw it in my friend's house last year, which I also was beginning after that, with my first movie and the project of William Wallace, I think, what the fuck is this? What am I looking at? I thought this was a medieval movie. Okay, the kills. Okay, they're also not accurate. The kills are also wrong, but that's not a big problem. I'm looking at the army. They have no armor. They have no chainmail. They have no medieval helmets. What the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Oh my God, I'm sorry, but this is really amateur from a big Hollywood star that I thought, Mel, I thought you made an army which looked real medieval. That doesn't look medieval. It looks so fucking so poor. Crap, man. It looks ridiculous. Even the English army in the movie looks far more better than the Scottish army in Braveheart. But there's also one thing that I want to tell you. If you probably saw one of my videos where I also said Braveheart is the worst movie ever. If you're looking at the armor, I'm going to show you the picture right now. I'm sorry, but I've read medieval history on school. I never saw in my times at school with my eyes in a book an armor looked like this or chainmail that looked like fucking dog tags. I mean, look at it. What the fuck is this? Who came with this stupid, fucking ridiculous idea that looks like dog tags? All hanged at each other. Who came with this fucking ridiculous idea? That's the medieval chainmail. Oh my God. Really, I don't know who came with this fucking ridiculous, dumb creation. Oh, really? I mean, it was better if the Scottish army would use that, but not the English army. I mean, this is not medieval chainmail as I know from history. I'm going to show you how medieval chainmail looked like. That's medieval chainmail. You see that guy who's playing the Sheriff of Lanark? Now, that's an outfit that I really love. Look at it. Oh, I fell so in love with the costume. Look, you can see that's real chainmail. Also, that Lord Bottoms guy, that landlord, look at him. That's medieval chainmail. That's what medieval knights wore in a time, in the 30th century. You know, probably Crusaders or Templars. They wear that armor. Every knight in that time wear that armor. So I don't understand who the fuck came with this fucking ridiculous idea, man. Oh my God, really. If I was the director of that movie, I used, of course, medieval chainmail and armor that looks like in the time. The brown armor is not, of course, not the problem or the kilts. I know the kilts also didn't exist in that time, but the problem is also that blue face paint. Let me tell you. Also, I told it in my video. You can see Braveheart is the worst movie ever. My short video. The blue face paint was far more times beyond Wallace was even born. It was used in the time of the Picts. And who are the Picts? You can see them. They were Celtic tribes, and they used these blue face paints in the time of the war against the Romans. So this was many years or centuries used before Wallace even was born. And they never used that in that time when he was alive. So who the fuck came with it? It says on Google, I know that's all what the YouTubers are also talking about. It says that the filmmakers like the idea because they want to show the true war paint and stuff. Oh my God, fuck off with this shit. Fuck off with a dog tag armor and a blue face paint. It doesn't look so fucking ridiculous. I mean, not only the Scottish army that Mel Gibson presented, but a blue face paint and a medieval armor. Stop, please, with this bullshit. Oh, really? So, after that, the king that they made, that was portrayed by Patrick McGoohan. I don't know if you know this actor. I also never heard about him. I know him from this movie. Patrick McGoohan was an American actor who played the King Longshanks. But let me tell you something. Many people also are fucking blind. Look at the picture here. That's how Longshanks look like. That hairstyle is totally wrong. The clothing is correct. And also this great, oh, I love that outfit. But where is the cape? I missed the cape. A king needs a cape. I know. I saw the cape in one scene when he came back to the palace. So yeah, I don't understand why Patrick McGowan had this weird hair that doesn't, or this hairstyle that's not Longshank's hairstyle. Longshank's hairstyle, as you can see, was shorter. It was more, how you can see the long hair more up. So that's also wrong. Princess Isabella, we all know, played by this Sophie Marquet, was a French actress who also played in Pierce Brosnan, third movie of James Bond. The Word is Not Enough. Princess Isabella was not in that time. She was a little child. I thought first she was in the time, but many YouTubers also said she was a little child. So the meaning between her and Wallace also is bullshit. Further, the outfits, that hairstyle of Mel Gibson is so totally wrong. It looks great, but that was not what Wallace wear or had. And yeah, I can show you the picture, but you saw the picture again, so I don't have to show it you again. Further, what I can tell you, the Battle of Falkirk was also bullshit. There were no Irishmen. Welsh bowmen were, but Wallace and those Scottish nobles weren't there. There were no... And I don't believe maybe he killed a Scottish noble. I think maybe he did. But this is bullshit, really. And yeah, what I can say about this movie, my friends, I don't want to watch this movie again. I hate this movie so much because my favorite medieval historical character was so portrayed so fucking ridiculous by this guy who is an Australian American film director that thinks he can speak a Scottish accent, think he can go to Scotland, and he was listening to Randall Wallace and the script about William Wallace and create a movie that doesn't look anything like it. It's fucking ridiculous and bullshit nonsense. And finally, after 30 years, my movie, finally now The Rise of William Wallace, is going to change all of this brainwashing crap garbage that Mel Gibson showed. In the beginning, everybody was happy, I know. Mel Gibson looked great in that kilt at the premiere. But, let me tell you something, my friends. I know that Scottish people, of course, in the time, everybody looked at the movie. It was nominated for 5 Oscar awards, but it was also rated 90% on Google, but I turned it thumbs down. I have a video clip, of course, that I made about Braveheart with the song of Let's Go. Maybe you know her, Sammy Brielle and David Guetta. You can see it on my YouTube channel, but I made that song because, it was a video clip, which I like the song, I like behind the scenes, but, maybe I'm going to delete the video clip maybe soon. But I've also, sorry, I also made, movie scenes, which I played, Braveheart scenes, but now I'm looking at all of the stuff that I know from William Wallace, because, I was searching everything what I could find, because I'm going to tell you, after I saw the movie, of course, I really was thinking, is this all true? Because I know that Wallace had a beard. I like the outfits, of course, the swords, but the Scottish army looked ridiculous. And when I search it up, I think, what the fuck is this? That's not William Wallace is in the movie. And did you know the title Braveheart is the nickname of the legendary king Robert the Bruce. So that movie title is also wrong. I don't understand, my friends. Even I don't understand why these YouTubers don't ask you the same, because who the fuck came with this idea? Why they made this movie titled Braveheart? They should call it William Wallace or The Rise, I don't know. But not Braveheart. Braveheart is the nickname of Robert the Bruce, who he also appeared in the movie, which he never betrayed William Wallace. He never met him. So that betrayal in Falkirk is also bullshit. I don't know who came with this fucking ridiculous script. Was it Mel Gibson or that guy, Wallace? I don't understand. I really asking myself also this question to him. How the fuck did he came with these fucking ridiculous ideas? Who came with this ridiculous script? With this crap? Who the fuck did this? I'm asking myself all the time still today. Who came with these fucking ridiculous ideas? To portray William Wallace as a fantasy fairy tale Highlander with no beard. I don't know, the Scottish army that doesn't look like, I don't know, medieval army. Oh my God, my friends. I had so enough of it. You know, it's been 30 years now. I watch movies. I watch action movies. Doesn't matter. I also know medieval movies. I don't know what I can say about this, my friends, but I don't want to see this movie. I hope this movie will be banned from Netflix everywhere, and this movie will be gone, will be vanished. Because this movie, the Scottish people, they know that the Scottish people are still angry on him. They really hate Mel Gibson for what he did. Even the stupid, ridiculous fucking statue here called Freedom my ass, is standing somewhere in the woods because, Scottish people don't like it. They know it's fake. It's Hollywood fake bullshit. And I can tell you, my friends, Scottish people are not happy. I searched it all up on Google. Even Google warned me not to talk if you're in Scotland about the movie, because Scottish people really don't like this. Of course they do. They don't like this movie. Some Scottish people, maybe, well, there are a minority that likes the people, but the majority don't like it. And it's funny that Mel Gibson returned, I don't know, he was last year in Scotland again after 28 years, or it was 2 years ago, so. Yeah, he gave this interview which he was talking about the great premiere and the speech he made. That speech that he also gave, Wallace never said those things. It was all created by Mel Gibson and Randall Wallace. So that speech is also bullshit. Oh, my friends, I can't understand who the fuck did this who made this movie? I made this script. Was it Mel Gibson's idea? Only or the Randall Wallace asshole idea? I have no idea, my friends. You know what I can say about this, my friends? My movie, The Rise of William Wallace, is going to show the Stirling Bridge. You can see some movie scenes. I posted on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to bring this. I give the Scottish people and the people of Scotland what they have been waiting for all these 30 years. You know, I don't understand, my friends. I made also this meme I'm also going to show it. In 2018 and 2019, you had two movies were made about Robert the Bruce. Outlaw King was made by, starring Chris Pine, if you know this actor, an American who played a Scottish king. That was a very, very accurate movie. It was really a true story. In 2019, Angus MacFadyen, who played Robert the Bruce in 1999 in Braveheart, returned in his old role and gave a great performance. But I don't understand. There were two movies made about the legendary king, but where is still the movie of William Wallace? Where? I still don't understand. We know all the history. So why there's no film studio, even in London or Glasgow, who are making a movie about him? Why? I still don't understand this day. So I think, and I thought my decision was made, and if they're not going to make a movie about him, and every time I need to watch these statues every year, I think, fuck it. I can draw, I can act, I'm an actor as well. So let me do the job. Let me do it. And I'm still busy with it. The Rise of William Wallace is coming soon this next month. I'm very busy with making the scenes. I have so much scenes, I think more than maybe 20 movie scenes with the Stirling Bridge, with Lanark, and the Ardres and Castle Siege. And, of course, the wedding will come of Mary and Braveheart, maybe adds fictional, but it's a part of his story, but yeah. So now, I think I've done talk enough, and I want to tell you something. His execution in the movie is also totally wrong. And he never shouted freedom, of course, at the end. And Hamish, that guy, was played by Brendan Gleeson. I don't know if this actor, I think you know him from Harry Potter, was the best friend of William Wallace. I'm sorry. Fuck off. That was Sir John de Graham. That was his best friend. And not that Hamish Campbell that they have created. Oh, really? He will also appear in my movie. And the two commanders who were in the movie of the English also were wrong. While Hugh de Crescent was, but Hugh the Cressingham looks different in my movie than in Mel Gibson version. Cheltenham, who is also that wasn't an English commander. That was Sir John de Warren, the Earl of Surrey. I don't know what it's some kind of a duke. He was a duke. He was also the second commander at the Stirling Bridge. So I don't know who came with these fucking ideas, but yeah. Or this name. Because I searched the name up and it's the name of a festival. Somewhere in Ireland, I don't know. So yeah, my friends, I think I've talked enough. That's it, my friends. Let me know. Please give me questions. And my movie, The Rise of William Wallace, is going to change all of this Hollywood crap brainwash shit of Mel Gibson. So that's it, my friends. I'm going to end this podcast. Yeah. The Rise of William Wallace is coming soon, next month. And you're going to see it. I'm going to make the trailer. I'm also going to draw the premiere and also behind the scenes with myself. So I don't have anything wild to tell you anymore. I think I've talked everything about what you need to know, of course, about why I call it the worst movie. And the next podcast will be about Pirates of the Caribbean, Edward's End, why it's my favorite part. And yeah. That will be in another podcast. That's it, folks. I'm going to end this. Let me know. Please ask me questions also about my new movie, The Rise of William Wallace. That's it, my friends. I'm going to end this podcast. Have a nice evening, and I'll see you to the next one. And don't forget, The Rise of William Wallace is coming. See you later.